Hi everyone, welcome to Good Dog Grooming. My name's Colleen. Today's video is in my Grooming Tool Maintenance 101 series. What I want to talk about today is the 5-in-1 adjustable blade that goes on your mini clippers and how to clean them thoroughly and easily so they'll last you longer. This one is super short, simple, and useful, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I want to very briefly give you a little bit of background about these blades and what they're used for. So any mini clippers, I happen to have the WAHL BRAVURA. These 5-in-1 blades are compatible with lots of different mini clippers. They also make, like I think mine came with like a fixed 45. So in other words, they make this in a fixed version, but the 5-in-1 adjustable are super popular with groomers. And here's why. You can adjust from longer to shorter in one blade. They are absolutely wonderful, extremely versatile, and just I use it on every dog that I groom. As far as general maintenance of these goes, typically I will literally just make sure it stays pretty clear of hair inside my blade, the blade itself and the clippers. And an easy way to do that is at the end of the day, as you're vacuuming, to like pop this off and hold the vacuum to the blade, don't let go of the blade, and to the clippers, and that clears it out pretty well. You can also take your toothbrush or whatever brush you use to brush hair out of your blades and brush in here, and that's great to do daily. At least once a month, I actually like to take this apart, and that's what I'm going to show you guys today. The other thing you can do with these blades is either get them sharpened by a good sharpener. So whatever sharpener that you use for your bigger clipper blades and for your shears and things like that. Some of them are like willing and can do these, and some of them are like, oh, I don't do those. I've heard both. And so if you have a sharpener that can sharpen these, then great. Also, you can get them serviced by WAHL and literally mail this in. And my experience with that was I actually had 7 blades, because your other option, by the way, is to replace them. Just buy yourself a new one when one gets dull, right? So I was replacing them, over the couple of years that I was first grooming, and then I found that I had like 6 dull ones, and well, maybe like 5 dull and like 1 broken, because there's also this little tab that holds it on the clippers, and if you drop your clippers and that tab breaks, that renders this useless. So if it's broken or dull, you can send it into WAHL. I sent 7 total blades, and it was my first customer service experience with WAHL. And I said, please tell me how much it would cost to get these refurbished or sharpened or whatever. So what they did was they refurbished all of them, and I honestly don't even know if they replaced them or if they actually refurbished them and sent me back the same blades, but they said, okay, here you go. This time they're free. Next time expect it to cost this much money. And I cannot remember, and I tried to look it up, but I think it was like 13 bucks per blade, okay? This will cost you brand new about 25. So as a groomer, my system that I like to do is replace them over time. Once I have about 4 of them, like 3 dull ones and 1 that's working, then I'll mail in, either all of them to get them refurbished, or 3 of them so that I still have 1 to work with. So one of these is going to cost you about $25. I actually looked up on Amazon, it's $25. The Pet Edge website, which is a groomer supply company, $24.99, so it's about the same, but I will say I believe on the Pet Edge there's a free shipping threshold of $99. So if you're buying like a lot of grooming supplies and you're going to break that threshold of above $99, then great. Also, Pet Edge is probably more reliable for it, like definitely not being a knockoff, because I saw some questionable reviews on the Amazon about, oh, I used to get these all the time and lately they only last me 2 weeks. So I don't know if the Amazon is supplying knockoff ones, I don't know, but they look the exact same and they're the exact same price. So you can either get them on Amazon or Pet Edge or some other pet supply. The WAHL website actually will show you where it's available in your area. There is another option It's a black one. And this one's silver, this one's black. The black one is like a diamond. It's like the same product, the same company, but it is supposed to be more durable and last longer. And it sells on Amazon for $41 and on Pettage for $44.99. You can clearly see that I have bought one. This is an old one that I've had for a long time. My finding was that it was not worth the increased price. The like, maybe it lasted longer, but if it did, not enough longer to justify the higher price. So I'm sticking with these now. I just pay the $25 or the $13-ish to get it refurbished at WAHL. All right, let me give you your list of things you're gonna need for this procedure. You're gonna want a TORX head screwdriver, specifically the T8 size. If you have a set of TORX screwdrivers, then just find your T8, you're good to go. If not, you can buy an individual one on Amazon. That's like $6 or $8. I'll post a link. You're gonna want your clippers and your blade. You really only need the blade, but after I do the oil, I do like to actually put it on, turn them on, and that spreads the oil across the blade better. So you're gonna need this blade. Those are the screws we're gonna be taking off. You're gonna want clipper oil, paper towel. You only need like one paper towel, and a brush or like a toothbrush, whatever you use to brush the hairs out of your blade. That's all you're gonna need for this. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, this is very simple. Here's everything you need right here. So I'm gonna scoot some stuff out of my way, just temporarily, because all I need at the moment is this. Okay. First, take these screws off. Easy peasy. We got our T8 TORX screwdriver here. Don't lose them, huh? I'm sure you can find replacements through WAHL, at least, possibly even on Amazon. The best thing to do is just to not lose them. All right, here's what you get when you take those off. Oh man, this is stuff my toothbrush couldn't get to. All right, when I brushed it out. Set this down over here. I do want to show you this thing. Sometimes it's nice and stuck in there, which is good because it'll kind of stay put for you. This is the part that you switch over to adjust it, but it will pop out, okay? Which, let me see if I can do it for you. I've had them where I take this apart and it just completely flies out of there. So that's the only part that is like not attached more than just being set in there. So if you feel more comfortable, set it aside. Okay, everything else is attached. Now I still want to be pretty delicate with this because I don't want anything else to come apart, okay? All I want to do, brush those hairs out of there. Really get them pretty good. Oh boy, it's stuck in there, gross. Brush all this hair out. Yuck. You even want to get, because now that I took that back plate off, this here was pressed against there. Oops, let me get that more in view. This here was pressed against there. So now I can get my toothbrush in there. All right. And let me clean that a bit more. All righty. Just get it till you are happy with how much less hair there is in there. All right, it's never gonna be perfect. I mean, I don't wanna go like rinse this thing. I think some people might. But I don't wanna introduce water to this system, so I'm just gonna do this. I would say I do this about once a month. And set that down until you don't forget this part. And it's actually pretty easy to take your paper towel and just wipe this off. Because this is just one big little metal piece here. Okay. So yeah, I do this about once a month. Every day that I work, I either vacuum out or brush the hairs off of this thing, but I don't disassemble it to do so. So the disassembling I do about once a month, and I find I need to replace or refurbish them, I don't know, every 6 months. But I only work usually 1 day a week. So if you're a full-time groomer, maybe more often than that. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I'm gonna reassemble, okay? And at the very end, we're gonna add some oil. Let's look at how this goes. All right, so this is this little piece that I didn't want to lose. Like I said, sometimes it'll stay in there even while, you know, while you're doing your brush thing, but just make sure you don't lose it, okay? This on. And then actually, so that's pretty easy to align right there. All right, and I don't need to press it down because the screws will do that for me. But I think what I'll do, sometimes I do the oil right after, but you know what? Let's do the oil while it's still open. All right, my contact surfaces are this bar here, and this bar all the way across. So I'm only going to do 5 drops, little drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be good. All right. Didn't forget my little tab. That's in there. Okay. Now that can be in any position. It's kind of a funny, magical little thing that happens where no matter where it is, you don't have to worry about whether it fixes itself. It's magical. Whether it's the same spot when you took it apart, like, oh no, was it on my 9 or my 40? It doesn't matter. All right, so I like to just hand thread the screws initially. Make sure we're all lined up. It's a little bit like when you're doing lug nuts on a tire. You don't want to completely crank one down before they're both sort of in place. So I'll get it, kind of just alternate. Get them, work them down until they're both in contact, and then I do my final little tighten, which is barely anything. I just like to make sure it's really set. Now it's reassembled, and I can check that it is indeed functioning. And I'll pop it on my clippers. My battery's a little low on this. I need to charge these, that's fine. And I like to wipe the excess oil. And so if you do that every so often, you're gonna get a little longer performance out of these before you need to get them either sharpened or refurbished or whatever you need to do, replaced. Good luck, friends. Happy grooming. So that's it for this episode of Good Dog Grooming. Thank you so much for watching today. I've got more grooming tool and maintenance 101 videos coming down the pipeline, so please consider subscribing. I've also got more grooming basics and lots more of Bender and Beta. So hope you'll subscribe, hope you'll give this video a like if it was useful to you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hey Bender, you want to be in this video?